Welcome back. Welcome back to my story, episode 6. Um, we'll call this one From July 2005 to the spring of '06, and probably July of '06. Anyway, for that year, I spent my time writing the screen plan. I called it screen plan rather than play. I wasn't playing around, I was planning who stars the next big things, which was just this TV show concept where I asked you some very interesting questions and you answered them for money, which turned out to be sort of not really money, but stock in the future of the enterprise of Earth. And imagine you have stock in the future of the enterprise of Earth. And, well, just to give you an idea of some of the earliest ideas, imagine, and it's hard for most of you to just imagine this, but imagine that our enterprise owns California and the coastal condition and commission. There's no commission, we put them out of it. We cancel politics and law, we own our own state. We can turn it overnight. Within 7 years, we could turn it into Disneyland. We could build a bullet train circling the state, all the way down to the Salton Sea, where we'd create a nice, giant technology mecca and housing community. We could add many, many people, and the bullet train alone would change transportation economics throughout California, changing the value of real estate, turning a commute from LA or Hollywood to Santa Barbara to a 10-minute, 15-minute affair, turning our entire going all the way to Hearst Castle and beyond in a myriad of minutes, not hours. And, well, eliminating lots of cars from the road and turning our cars electric, turning in cars that drive themselves, and, well, changing everything you might know, turning it, well, when I say Disneyland, it's what Disneyland would look like in 99 years if we had ever advanced our imagination beyond the 50s. Well, anyway, that's sort of an aside point. So the point was this, what you could do if you had this enterprise. Well, so I began beyond, well, in order to do that, you bet it didn't have that bank of infinite money, which was sort of my first or second creation. It's hard to know which. The confluence and convergence with the Wireless People's Network, which actually was just the beginning. Because as I continued writing my story, well, just to understand it, during the day in the mornings before I got up to write, I went out and golfed really quick. Hour and a half, put it in, got in, 15 holes or so, skipped the sprinklers and stuff, and got solo. But I was always wearing my Oakley sunglasses with flip-up sunglasses and, well, AirPods in the ear and MP3 players. They've since cancelled that. What a shame on them. iPod's taken over. That's fabulous. If they'd only had the Oakley sunglasses, it would be amazing. But that gave me the idea for iPhones. So imagine sound in your ear and the eyes, 3D. Well, I'll actually imagine being able to translucent, superimposing information on top of reality. But let's not even go there. But anyway, the possibilities are like almost unlimited. And anyway, and then imagine, on top of it, cameras collecting 3D information video all the way around you. And then imagine wirelessly connected to the network. So within your eyes, you could have available any information on the cloud, and we'd have a cloud looking up the information on the planet. We could have universities in your eyes. Freaking a kid in Africa, anywhere in the world could go to Harvard, Stanford, you name it, what school, it doesn't matter. We would free the education and the knowledge, and we'd give everybody iPhones as part of their ticket to ride. That's right. Well, I'm sorry, that's one of the professions we might change and transform along the way and cancel. Who needs freaking teachers when we have iPhones? Well, we probably need them to collect kids and make sure they're not nutty. But then, who needs cab drivers when the cabs drive themselves? Well, we might need tourist guides, but we need to think a whole reality, because when we start advancing technology to where it is capable of going, within the next 7 years, 19 years and 99, we will change the existence on our planet as we know it. There's no question of it. But anyway, Well, maybe. Okay, so iPhones. So, and then you could do the smell, but I'm not sure you'd always want that. But it's just a thing, and the sound, and the sight, and more you're collecting all movies, and guess what? You now in the movie. Well, now, for your technical people among you, they're gonna say you can't collect all this video information and send it to the cloud. So imagine this because everybody walking around would be their own big brother, collecting information on public domain. And what happened? We know what happened. Our computers would know what happened. If there was a question of what happened, we wouldn't need trial by jury. We could have trial by computer. What happened? Who did what to who? Unless there's some kind of a crazy glitch in the system. Here's the charge. Private, silent, boom. Move on your way. You pay the fine. You get off. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, it changes the whole justice system when you have sort of a infinite big brother. And I know people freak out about that, but hey, if you're running around the streets violating the laws, why shouldn't you get cut by our cameras? And, well, violate them in the middle of your house. Well, that's not our business, and it's hard to violate laws inside your house, except with your family members, and that's a family matter. And then again, the would-be families would have their own systems connected, secured, that would say, hey, we got our own information, and for family matters, we have our own adjudication system. But let's not go into the whole thing. But with iPhones, you basically change everything in the delivery of information. You change actually how we interface as a world. When we say we could have worldwide elections, we could have elections every minute in the iPhones. But what would people be like? Okay, a lot of people say, I don't want to wear these iPhones. Well, nobody's like telling you you have to, but it sort of changes dimensions when you can zap yourself along reality and go anywhere on the planet at any time and participate in an event as if you're really there in 3D, but you really want you in the virtual replication of that reality. And then when you capture reality over time, you could actually travel to and from and backwards and forwards in the time capture. So imagine creating a reality of your reality. Well, the thing is, that makes everybody stars, and the stars are bigger stars by 1,000. And the guy said on stars, you don't think of them as stars like Steve Jobs or Bill Gates or just Warren Buffett. You name I could give you a list. You don't even know the names. Why not? Because you don't think of them as stars. But in our movie, they'd be stars, and all the people working with them would be stars. And see, our movie would be starring everybody on the planet. It's the biggest movie of all time. Nobody has ever imagined a movie that would star everybody on the planet. But that's the movie we're talking about here. They are starring in rainbow stars. That's what I call my money. But that's sort of like the people starring in a movie across the planet are rainbow stars. Because we derive our money out of the iPhones. We can advertise anything we want to you, but then the question, what do we advertise to you? We don't want to create our own worst nightmare. The only thing we can do is put the power and ethics of God and capitalize it right, so that we put that behind our system in our core, behind our own inter-organization, not a hierarchy dominated by power in the hands of few, but of boards linked and internet-worked together, where power is distributed, and, well, it's connected in pyramids of networks, and, well, networks of pyramids, and knowledge is advanced, and more than that shared for further advancement. And we compete, not with each other, but with each other we compete with ourselves. We have competitions and teams, of course. We have our own venture capital, vulture capital, angel capital to fund our own radical ideas, because you never know when some new thing that we wouldn't imagine in the construct of a large enterprise might come along. We need to break all the paradoxes and paradigms of our entire planet, but run the planet as one enterprise of us, one capitalist enterprise owned by the people, for the people, and of the people. But anyway, so, well, we iPhones. So iPhones sort of change things, as you know. And, well, I just kept working on that, and by July 2006, I got a stay in Chino. What was I doing? Well, by that time, my primary methodology was to do my own sort of Abby Hoffman kind of crazy videos, flying around with crap that I bought and showing it on my movies with music behind it. And well, and sending some messages. And sometimes it might have looked like I was vandalizing stuff, but it was my own stuff. But anyway, so in 2006, I got brought in on a 5150. I believe I was in my own home doing, well, I might have made a mistake that I have before of opening up the door to the policeman. When I keep the door closed, which unfortunately I haven't done enough, they don't come in. But I open the door to the policeman with no warrant, and I get arrested on 5150s. Anyway, that's what happened again for the third time in 2006. Well, I was just writing my story, but I'd probably getting into an area. Oh, I'm sorry. That's about time. I called in all your news channels. I said I've had the good news for a year, and you have not reported on my new good news of the future of the planet. So the bad news channels, I told them, well, I'm buying you, and you're also cancelled. And so in my reality, we took over your horizontal and your vertical. What this is happening? What are we talking about? You see, in my bigger reality, you didn't need me. You just needed the idea. Well, the idea of me wasn't bad for the story, but you just needed the idea to bite the world, for the people to exercise their power, financial power, to buy out all of the people, and to buy out all the enterprise, and to cancel out and buy out all the nations. What you needed is that idea, and a catalyst to do that. Well, you had the catalyst in the truth that I was revealing. You had the catalyst when you sought your own numbers and sought your own minds and souls to realize that this was our predetermined destiny for identity designed man. So, a smart Bill Gates, a smart and still alive Steve Jobs, a smart you name fill in the blank Alan Greenspan, chairman of the business bulls who could count to infinite mind, they smart would decide we are going, and not to forget James Cramer, who was designated to roll out Wall Street, roll it up, all the hedge fund managers, Eddie Lambert, you name them, roll up Goldman, roll them all up, because they're being bought out. And when they find out they have a bid for 3 to 5 times, well, they're already owned. And that was the private thing, because we privately, theoretically, my enterprise of us bought out every enterprise of the planet for 3 to 5 times years ago. And then we decided, well, we own the news channels. We own your reality. Why not let it crash? Because it's going down anyway. And we have the salvation plan in our hands. And guess what we'd be doing? Secretly conspiring to build this huge enterprise of us in the background with angels working in concert, and we would conspire to buy ourselves a new future, and people you think are dead are really alive, and news that you think would happen never happened. Everything you might have thought would have crashed might not be crashed, it might be soaring. Your reality as you know it could have been transformed from before or certainly '06 on. And imagine an Illuminati conspiracy for all the religions and all the nations and all the people and all the enterprises, from all the factions, from all the sides, realizing that cashing in and creating the common global construct and monetary system together and creating that larger enterprise of us was the secret to the salvation of humanity, was the only path that made any economic sense. And well, once you get to that realization, you get realization that all these thousands of years since our creation were just a part of, let's call it, God's plan to train mankind, to teach him why war must be ended in all its forms, to teach him the lessons that we should have learned through the gospel of Jesus Christ. and all the great prophets, that we still will learn from today and through tomorrow. For I became the prophet of prophets, aka, and also starring as prophet of prophets. You could spell it both in either way. I am the prophet of the future. I am the prophet of the history of the future of Earth. I became King Arthur of that. I became King Arthur of the future of the history of Earth. I dare anybody